right, we're going. Do you still have your Facebook open so we can make sure?
I don't, but I can grab it on my phone real fast.
Okay. Just want to make sure everyone can see us. And then we'll get going. This is the TKO Shine Bright training, and we are going to be talking about time management tonight. Just double checking that you guys can all see us. All right, I think we're good to go. So I am Sarah Gaub, and I am so excited to be on this call tonight with Jackie. We both have, well, as we all do, we're all busy and we all have packed schedules. So we're just going to talk to you tonight about how to run a full-time business on a part-time schedule and tricks that have worked for us, and hopefully that you can get some tips tonight that will work for you as well. So a little bit about myself. I started coaching February of last year. So about a year and a half, a little more maybe, and I'm currently a 6-star Diamond Premier Coach. My team is incredible. I'm so blessed to have such independent leaders on my team. I started coaching because of a few things. I had been watching my upline, Brandy, build her empire over, I think it was a year I was watching her, and I just kept wondering, is that real life, and is that something that I could do? But I always doubted myself, so I didn't do it. And then fast forward a year of me watching her posts and being jealous of all of her fun things that she got to do with coaching, and my husband had told me that he decided he didn't want to play baseball anymore, and it was his career, his full-time job, everything. And it was a huge adjustment for our family, and all of a sudden we were on one income, and I wanted to support him in every way possible and make that transition easy. So I decided to take on coaching and hope that it would ease the burden of transitioning to one income, and we needed it. We needed something else besides my nursing jobs. I was working 2 full-time nursing jobs at the time, and I was picking up overtime because I didn't want him to feel pressured into making another career choice right away after that, quitting what he had done for the last 7 years. So a couple different reasons, and obviously too, I knew I would be working more, and I needed some workouts from home, and I had never done at-home workouts before, so I decided to just jump in and give it a try. And I told myself I'd give myself 1 year of giving it every single thing I had, and if I didn't like where I was at in 1 year, I could walk away. And about 6 months into it, I was like, I would never walk away from this. I don't know how I could even think of never doing this. And I was so mad at myself for not starting sooner. So that's a little bit about my story. Jackie, do you want to tell us how you got involved in coaching?
Sure. Our stories are kind of polar opposites. So I'm like, oh, okay, so we're different. So I kind of got into coaching through my own fitness journey. I was a mom of 2, and they're 16 months apart, 2 boys. And I was always active in life, like being cheerleading and gymnastics and stuff and dance, but I just ate like crap. I was raised on fast food. Both my parents worked, so that was kind of like how we were raised, was fast food. So as you get older, you kind of realize I can't do that anymore. And then add 2 kids and 2 pregnancies on top of that, and I was 60 pounds overweight. And I found TurboFire and fell in love with the workouts, fell in love with Shakeology. I hated Shakeology at first, and then Brandy made me try it again. But I just mixed it wrong. It's okay. But so I fell in love with these products, and I was like, you know what? I was never a shake person, so I was like, I couldn't justify spending the money on it. So I was like, if I'm gonna drink this stuff, I'm gonna save the 25% on it and be a coach. So it was also a way for me out of postpartum. So it was a way for me to just be positive and focus on the positive things in life rather than the things that were just dragging me down and the feelings inside. So it gave me something to focus on rather than how miserable I was feeling. So that was kind of my gateway in, and I was a discount coach, and told Brandy that I wanted to work my business, but never did. And so for the first year, I really just kind of sold to my friends, never sold a challenge pack, sold to friends and family because, of course, I lost my 60 pounds right away. And everybody was like, okay, what are you doing? And so as people were asking, I was telling them and making commission on, products here and there, but never really taking the time to focus in on how to build a team and build my income. So then like Sarah, whenever I saw what Brandy did in her first year, and Brandy started probably, I think, 2 months before me. And so when I saw what she did and where I was pretty much in the same time in the business, I was like, okay, this could really turn into something if I focus on it. So I'm like, how do I need to change things? How can I do things differently to get myself to not maybe to where she was, but just on the road to that place? So, I was like Sarah, I had said to myself, I'm going to give it a year and I'm going to see where it goes. It's just focusing on that year. And I went through the 30-day push. If you guys haven't done that, go through it. It's super easy and free online. It's Chalene Johnson's goal setting program. And that's how I got started. And that's what built goal setting and to-do list setting and all of that up for me, because I didn't know how to do any of that before. So again, like Sarah, I gave it a year and there's no chance in heck that I'm ever going to stop.
It's the best job ever.
Yeah.
But through both of our journeys being so different and starting out, the time that we've invested so far, life still happens. And we have both gone through such highs and lows in our journey. Family members pass away, friends pass away, marriage struggles, friend struggles, family struggles, financial struggles, you name it, life happens. And it makes it difficult to keep going on this journey sometimes when you're wondering, it's different when you have, I think, a job that you have to clock into and you have to show up to, or your manager is going to be like, you're fired. Whereas here, you're your own boss. So you have to be organized and you have to be diligent and you have to treat this like a job that you're clocking into. Otherwise, it's going to be so easy to be like, oh, you know what? My basement flooded today. I got to check out. Or, sorry, I just don't really feel like getting out of bed today. I'm sad. Well, you know what? Change your mindset, through all those things that were going on in my life personally, and when other coaches go through highs and lows, and, we have to just change our mindset and think about, okay, I'm going to plug into my team because they make me happy and because this is what I love to do. And as soon as you switch that mindset and you get your time right and you focus on why you're doing this, I think it's just a big game changer. But what we're talking about tonight is time management, because a lot of us, I hear so many times, I don't have time, I'm busy. Well, you know what? We all are. So we're going to show you how we figured it out and how we skate by making it work. So I'm going to go ahead and get the slides started, and then we'll go from there. So hang on with me 1 minute. All right, Jackie, can you see the slides now?
Yes.
All right, cool. So here we go. We already introduced ourselves. So like I said, if we can do this, so can you. Personally, when I started this journey, I was working at the hospital 50 plus hours a week. I was also working my part-time nursing job 25 hours a week. I was a newlywed and I had a new home. Like I said, I was a sole income earner, and I had to make a change. So I used that desperation to fuel me in the beginning. Now, currently, I still work about 30 to 40 hours a week between both of my nursing jobs, but that's because I want to, not because I have to. I went to school for nursing because I love nursing. I love helping other people, and I love using my skills, and, I'm blessed to have the flexibility to be able to do both things. I don't always have that attitude when I'm going into work, especially when it's beautiful out and I just want to stay home and work with my team or whatever. But I get the same fulfillment with coaching that I do when I'm leaving an 8-hour shift now that I don't have to be there 50 plus hours a week, you know? Yes, Jackie and I missed out on sleep. Yes, we worked really hard. This is not easy if you want it to be a 6-figure income. And yes, we sacrificed so many things, but like we both said, we would do it over again in a heartbeat. Excuses that we could have used. So we've kind of already touched on this a little bit, but like marriage, growing pains, lack of support. I know a lot of us have gone through that where we just feel alone in this. And I personally had to prove myself to a lot of people. I lost a lot of friends on Facebook. I lost a lot of people that I thought would support me in anything I did, who thought I was crazy. And you know, turns out that they really weren't supposed to be in my life. And I have filled their void with the most incredible people I have ever met in my life through this journey. You don't know what to do with technology. Well, you know what? Neither do I. I was the most stubborn person on the face of the planet to get an iPhone because I could barely use a flip phone. You just learn as you go. You just figure it out. And I promise you, it might be a struggle, but that's not a reason to not do this. Loss of family members, friends, things like that, like we already talked about. I had taken on extra leadership roles at the hospital too. I could have said, you know what, sorry, I'm moving my way up in my nursing career, so I can't put as much time into my business. But that's an excuse. I was struggling with infertility, and that those of you that have been on that journey know that it's a crazy amount of time that you have to invest in those appointments and how emotional it can be. And some days you literally just do not want to get out of bed and do anything. Huge home renovations that mostly we've done DIY. Being pregnant, Jackie's a mom of 3. I started a wedding rental company, and I also participate in a Bible study group, you know, so you are very spread thin. If you sit there and you list out all of your responsibilities and your priorities, you can easily say, you know what, I can't fit this in. My husband told me that I was crazy for thinking of doing coaching because he's like, you don't have time to shower right now. How are you going to do this? How are you going to build a business when you don't have time to even breathe right now? But I knew I wanted it. I wanted it so bad. I wanted that flexibility and that freedom more than anything in the world. And I was going to do anything I could to make that happen. I love this quote by Charles Richards. Don't be fooled by the calendar, because there are only as many days in the year as you make use of. One man gets only a week's value out of a year, while another man gets a full year's value out of a week. That's so powerful to me. I wake up every day and I'm like, it's like this challenge I have with myself. Like I get this high off of how much can I get done in one day? Or if I work at 3 o'clock at the hospital, I'm like, how much can I jam into the time I have before I go to work? Because I want to squeeze every single ounce of productivity out of my morning before I have to head to work. Or I love when I get a weekend full of stuff that most people wouldn't do in a month, because you can do it. You just have to be motivated, and you have to have a plan and just do it. I loved this that Summer Tucker went over on the National Wake Up Call. We all have 24 hours in a day. There's no secrets. That's 365 days a year. That equals 8,760 hours a year. We were very generous, and we gave you 8 hours of sleep a night. We know that's not realistic, but even so, that leaves you with 5,840 hours a year. So then take away a full-time job. So those of you that do not do Beachbody full-time, that's 45 hours a week working full-time or being a stay-at-home parent. With that and your sleep, that leaves 3,500 hours a year. So that equates to 67 hours a week free to build your dreams, not including your 30-minute workout. But seriously, guys, that's so much time. Like, where is that time going? You have to wonder. So a lot of that time is being wasted, to be quite honest with you. There's two things. There's time wasters and there's excuses. And I hate to be the bad guy, but sometimes you need a slap in the butt. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never forget some of the harshest talks I've had with some top coaches that I absolutely adore were some of the ones that stung the most because they were the most real and they were the most realistic, and they made me evaluate myself and what I was doing wrong. So I'm so thankful for those tough conversations. So I need you to take a deep look inside yourself now and be like, what am I doing? What excuses am I making? And where am I wasting my time? These are some time wasters here. I'm not saying that you can never do these things again. I'm not saying you can never Pinterest again. You can never watch Netflix again, things like that. But you have to be realistic if you want this to be a six-figure income. Like, if you want this to be as big as it can be, then Netflix is going to have to take a back seat for a little while. Or instead of having, watching 3, 4, 5 episodes a night, watch one every couple days, because those 30 minutes that you can spend building your business instead of watching TV or scrolling on Facebook or Pinterest or whatever compound over time into incredible rewards. You won't even notice when you start cutting out these things. It's not going to be like, oh yeah, all of a sudden I'm diamond, or oh yeah, all of a sudden I'm 2-star because I quit Pinterest. But over time, if you actively use that time that you used to do wasting on things that will move your business forward, I guarantee you will realize super fast how important that time is. So we have to figure out where all your time is going before we get any further. So what I suggest to do is track your time. Just like we track our workouts and our food intake to see where we need to make changes, we should track our time to find out where we can fit more business stuff in or where we can take something out, just so we can use our time more wisely. I suggest using a planner, paper or electronic, whatever works for you. The best paper planners I've found for hourly tracking are the Passion Planner or ones by Erin Condren. And I also love our new team planner that's found on the TKO website if you haven't got that yet. But what I suggest is once you find a planner that you like, date the planner. What I mean by that is use it for a couple months consistently to make sure that it works for you, and give it some time to work out the kinks and try to find. I've tried every planner under the sun and I keep going back to the cheapest Target one ever. I'll show you a picture here in a minute, but you just got to figure out what works for you. Start by entering the highest priority tasks into your planner first. So what I mean by that are, what are the non-negotiables that you cannot take time away from to build your business? So that would be family, job, church, things like that. Then find your holes after you enter those priority tasks, and then we'll work in Beachbody time from there. Now, very important thing about this is when these high priority tasks should be all unplugged time. So I know most of you probably think I'm crazy, and I hope those of you that are with me on this, huge high five to you, but I have 0 notifications go to my phone, none. My text messages come through, but I have my phone on silent about 99% of the time. I don't have Facebook notifications come through. I don't have anything. So then when I do go on my phone and I open the Facebook app, it is for work time. I do not check a notification or a message unless I have full intent on responding to it. Because I used to, be at a stoplight or in a parking lot, or just before work, I'd open up a message and be like, oh, I'll quick respond to this one. And I'd open it up and it'd be like 4 paragraphs long. And I'm like, oh crap, now I can't respond because I have, so much other things to do, or I have to get into work and clock in. And then you forget about the message, or you forget about somebody that you told you would get right back to. So what I found works best for me is just leaving it completely alone until I have the full intention to respond. When I have time with my husband at night, I don't even have my phone in the same room. Yes, if emergency comes up or my mom needs to get a hold of me or whatever, she can call my husband. I have my phone on silent in my bedroom. I don't even have it near me. And then when I'm in my office, I have a little box that I put my phone in. So it's out of my reach. I don't touch it. I just sit and I do my work, because the more focused you are and the less distracted you are by the little things, the more you're going to get done. And I don't have time to waste. So those are some things that have helped me there. This is a little image of the Passion Planner. I love that it breaks the days down hourly, and then at the bottom it has a personal to-do list and a work to-do list. My favorite thing about this is how it has good things that happened. It has a little box for that. And you can write down highlights and positive things about your week. I do something in my team called Sunday Shares, and we've done this since the very beginning of my team, and I adore it. It's my favorite thing we do all week, and it's where we all just share a highlight of our week. And usually it's a personal thing about something that happened in our personal lives, so we can get to know each other more. Sometimes it's business related, but they're just amazing things that have happened in your week. And by ending the week looking back at all the positivity that's happened the week before, you're more likely to start your next week on a positive note and with a good outlook, because you're realizing how blessed you are from this whole last week that maybe you thought was sucky, but then when you start talking about all the good things that happened, you realize it really wasn't that bad. So I love that part about this planner, but you could add that to any planner too. This is my electronic schedule. Don't get scared away. But I personally have found that for me, what works best is for my personal life, I use the iCalendar, or the little calendar app on my iPhone and my computer. And then my business, I use paper, and I'll show you an image of that next. But what I love about the electronic schedule for my personal life is that I can color code all my jobs and my personal tasks versus my family tasks and things like that. So I can share my hospital schedule with my husband, because he has an iPhone as well, so he can see when I'm working. And I figured that this would be really great for when we have kids and we're both trying to manage schedules and see where things overlap. But I love that I can just clearly see where all my time is going. And then the green is all Beachbody stuff. So I know, okay, when it's time to do Beachbody, then I go to my office and I open up my Beachbody planner, and then I can hammer out the to-do list from there. So this is my cheap Target paper planner that I use for Beachbody. My month view is very simple. It's nothing special. It's just the main things, like when we're starting our groups, when I'm starting a challenge group or a push group or training, when the quarters end or start, if there's bonuses, if there's like summit or leadership or Super Saturday or events like that. So just the main things that we need to keep on our calendar. And this is what my week days look like, how I break it down. So I'll go through this real quick. I actually shared this with a couple people not long ago, and I don't know why I haven't shared it sooner, because they said that once they started doing it, it was such a huge game changer for them. So this helps me mostly with not only staying organized in my to-do list, but my social media posts. So I just drew a line all the way down the side, and on the right side, I write out AM, mid, PM, and then like page, AM, PM, if you have a like page. And these are for my social media posts. So when I go, I take Sundays, I take a chunk of time on Sundays, and I plan out all my posts for the week, or as far into the week as I can get with the time I have allowed. And I plan them into an auto scheduler. We'll go over those later. But once I have it scheduled into that auto scheduler, I cross it off. And then I put IG next to it for Instagram in parentheses, so I know to copy and paste and post that to Instagram as well. Now Hootsuite does cross post to Instagram, but I'm a Buffer person and I'm too stubborn to switch right now, so I'm waiting for Buffer to go to Instagram too. And this works for me right now, so I'm not going to change, but just so you know that. But this helps me look at my week and be like, okay, so now I don't have 4 Shakeology posts in a row, or maybe I've been posting too much about my house projects and not enough about the business. And it really helps me get my content organized. So that's how I manage my social media posts. And then on the other side is my to-do list. And this is more basic. I didn't show you one of my other weeks because I do get of privacy reasons and things like that. But like I'll write down specific issues that come up, you know, like follow up with Krista, or follow up on order number whatever, and things like that. So I know exactly what are in my to-do list. But things like post office, my power hour, days when I have devoted just to digging really deep in my downline, or days that I have devoted just to digging into my leads, things like that, that I can cross off when I'm done. And then the little box in the bottom corner of each day is my groups that I'm running and what days each group is on, so that I know where all my groups are at. So it's super easy for me. Okay, you know, we're 2 weeks into my 21-day fix group, or 2 weeks into the new coach mentorship. So I know where everything's at. And then when I buffer those posts as well, I can cross those off also. Quick tip about buffering your groups and stuff like that. If you have one day just downtime, or, you know, you're watching a movie that you've seen 10 times and you're just having a lazy day, which is super important to rest and relax too, but sit on the couch, grab your computer, and buffer 5 glimpse groups. You know, you can buffer the next 5 months if you want, you know. So take that time and use it wisely. This is a PDF that we have that we'll upload for you guys to use if you think it would be helpful. It's a free printable. It's awesome. You can write, it's hourly breakdown, and you can write out little check marks on the side, what you must do, who you must contact, little things like that. And then I love this quote too. People often complain about lack of time when lack of direction is the real problem. So now that you have the time and you've tracked your time, you've figured out where you can squeeze more time in, where you've been wasting your time, where do you start? Well, everyone is so different, so no set schedule is going to work for every single coach. But what I was saying earlier, you have to start by doing some self-reflection and some tough love. Look at where you need to grow. Do you need to focus on building a team? Do you need to focus on advancing your coaches? Do you need to build a team culture? Maybe you need to focus on social media, relationships, systems, leads, whatever your issue is or whatever you want to focus on. Pick 2 areas and start to work on those first. Don't try to fix everything at once. Just devote maybe even 1 or 2 days to each topic, or maybe a whole week until you get comfortable with that. Then add on another thing and start to perfect that. But look at where you spend too much time when you're working on your business, because there are such thing as business wasters as well. So things that are business time wasters are like if you're catering too much to coaches and you're not focusing on your business. It's really hard as you grow as a leader to not forget about your business as well, because you will crumble if you don't grow your business. You know, your coaches are your bread and butter. And this was really hard for me to step away from them and not be there at their every beck and call. But the more independent your coaches are, the more strong your business is going to be. Okay. Do you maybe spend hours on one image for a social media post? Do you spend hours on finding verbiage for one post? Do you overanalyze every message before responding? Where are things that you could maybe speed up a little bit to get more time to work on your business? Look at those areas and recognize them. The first thing is recognizing them, and then talking with your coach, or come to me or post in the group and we'll give you feedback on how you can adjust that. And Jackie's going to talk about our power hour next.
Oh yeah. Okay. Who feels like a slacker now from listening to Sarah? Me. Okay. This girl is like a total time management crusher, and I just literally sit here and drool every time she talks.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to attempt to finish this up, but like Sarah was saying, guys, everybody has the same 24 hours. It's how you go about using your time that makes the difference. So your activity doesn't equal productivity. You need to focus on your strength. You really need to focus on doing that and making those changes for about 30 days until it really becomes habit. And we do that by, that's why we have a power hour or power half hour, is to set up those healthy habits for your business. We can be good at a lot. We all have traits that make us amazing people. That's why we're coaches. And we can be good at working out. We can be good at eating healthy. We can be good at being a leader and all that thing. But at the end of the day, you have to choose 3 things to be great at. And then you have to make a plan and attack it. I try to kind of treat my business like I treat my workouts. Because like I said, the workouts, all of that is what brought me into the business. So that's my mentality. I have to think of it as
Hey,
would
Jackie. Sorry to interrupt you.
Am I
Do you have
echoing?
two? Yeah, you're echoing, hon. Do you have a couple browsers open, maybe?
I don't.
All right. Well, let's see if it gets better here.
All right.
Yep.
No, it still is. Do you want to mute? I'm muted. Whenever you.
So you don't have Google or YouTube or any other browsers open?
No.
Okay.
I know. I hear the echo. If you mute your microphone, do you think it'll make a difference?
I'll try.
Okay, because I'm muted whenever. Is that better? Okay. I think so. I don't hear the echo. Did you click back off? No, I'm echoing again. Am I echoing still? No. Okay. All right. Sorry. So, like I was saying, no, I still am. I try to treat my business like my workouts. So that's my mentality that I use. So with my workouts, I schedule my workouts, I plan my nutrition, and when I'm in my workouts, I give it my full intensity, everything that I have. So I kind of treat my business the same way. So I have to make a schedule. That's why the Power Hour and all of that stuff comes into play. I'm sorry, I keep on getting people getting to my echo. So whenever you have your business schedule, you have to make that schedule. You have to stick to that schedule, really plan out your Power Hour. And then you have to have focused intensity in that time, in your business time, because if you don't have focused intensity in your workouts or in your business, you're not going to get the results that you could or that you should be getting. So if that's your mentality, hang with me there, but that's my thought process behind it. So have that focused intensity in your business planning time. So for the Power Half Hour, let's do a Power Hour. You know, everybody's different. But we have different schedules, and you know, these are your must. Okay, so adding people, relating to people. So that means like adding onto their comments or on their pictures. So you have to kind of love on people, so people are seeing you in their news feed as well. So add people, be relating to people, check your messages. You know, this is the time that you make your social media posts. You have certain times of days that I prefer to do those. Checking your team pages, your challenge. Those are things you absolutely must do no matter what. Like Sarah, I'm just like Sarah, she made the slide. I do not include my personal development in my Power Hour because I do it like her in the car, when I'm doing laundry, when I'm running soccer practice or baseball practice, when I'm folding laundry, things like that. You have to find little nuggets in your day that where you can really maximize your business time. So, oh, I lost the slides now. Also, I want to add on to this slide, the one thing that I absolutely have to do every day is to check your back office. So I'm always in my back office, checking for new customers, new orders, new leads, new coaches, and like checking volume and things like that for shout outs for my team. So that's just one little nugget I wanted to add in. And guys, be excited about what you're doing. You know, part of us, the business is attracting people. And in your posts and things like this that you do in your Power Hour, my Power Half Hour, that's when you attract people to your business that are outside your own market. So really think about that whenever you're making your posts and scheduling your to-do list for the day. Really take in that mentality that like how can you make somebody's life better today? That's kind of how can you add something positive or impact them in a positive way that day. So that's how you kind of want to go about your posts and making your to-do list. So if you want to hit the next slide, there we go. Am I still echoing to anybody else?
I think so. I don't know how to fix it.
Okay. I think when you muted, it got a little bit better. I don't know. If you want to try. Okay, so
Just trying to figure something out here.
okay.
Can you see the slides?
Yeah, but it's not smart.
Okay. All right. Do you want me to just take over or what? I don't want to. I feel like they can't. I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, when you muted your microphone, it stopped.
Okay. I'll mute again and just text me when you need me to switch the slides.
I'll just say switch slide. That'll be better.
What the heck? Like I am right now? That's a delay. No, my entire screen is a slide.
I would just take the slides down and you could post them to the group real quick, and then she can just talk. And then I don't think it'll be a problem.
But she doesn't have the slides.
Okay.
Is it still echoing?
So you should be able to, even though your screen's showing, you should be able to still see that little box that says do. But sometimes it's just behind.
I had to maximize the slide, so my entire screen is a slide.
Minimize the slides, so they just show as your presentation.
Then she loses it.
I'm trying to figure out where you guys are at on that.
Cause yeah, that's behind.
Yeah.
So when it's on the slide, what do? I click the arrow down and hit.
So if they're looking at the slides and you can get back to that Google Air platform,
Yeah.
Where you could share, then there's a little arrow that says new that'll say present, just show the slide. And it won't flip back to her little picture.
It'll present to everyone?
Yep. And then
okay.
So it doesn't switch back to her face.
All right, I think I just got it.
Yeah, it just.
Oh my good Lord.
Presenting.
It's okay. It's funny.
Frickin' A. So do I have to keep myself muted still?
They can hear you right now.
Oh.
You're not muted.
My goodness.
Well, and we did this earlier.
Okay. We'll figure this out.
Okay, you're good.
All right, we're good now.
Great.
All right. See, I told you guys, me and technology don't get along. All right, Jackie.
All right. I'm so echoing. If you want to.
You want me to switch slides?
No, you're good. Stay on the important tasks.
Okay.
But just mute yourself if you can.
Okay.
I just went up to the. Okay, there you go. All right, sorry guys. And we seriously went over this earlier. Like me and her got on, and she watched my kids jump off the couch for a while. But but technology's technology. So anyway, back to time management. The important tasks, guys, these are things that you need to focus on throughout the week as well. I'm not going to kind of go through all these, but you can either take a picture with your phone, or I'm going to go over some things that you can focus on as well. And my number one tip, I think, is to not get so overwhelmed that you do nothing. Because I think that we've all been there where you have so much on your plate and you have so much to do, then that's when you just grab the chocolate and your wine and just sit down and do nothing. Because that's my my thing. I'm like, okay, there's too much. You just get overwhelmed. So read every single day. That comes with your personal development. But leaders are readers and readers are leaders. So, we have a lot of junk that has just been ingrained in our brain over the years. So you need to read to change. So do that in either your power hour, or if you're like us, do your personal development whenever you can fit it in, either before bed or when you're driving and things like that. Do exposures every single day, and that can be on social media. Or person to person. Don't be afraid to give out your business card, and plan on meeting people. And you have to keep adding to your list every single day, and make lists, get in that habit, where you can follow up with your leads. And that way you don't go into panic mode when you run out of contacts. Like we said, you kind of have to always be adding to your market. Make sure you're sharing the business every single day, whether it be social media or in person, and be excited about it. Like I said, sharing keeps you excited and keeps you motivated. We all get in funks, and that's fine, but you always have to be the positive person in people's lives, because that's kind of our role as a coach. Like I said, follow up with everybody every single day. The fortune is in the follow-up, because I have so many people that I had on my list that told me no, or told me to check in later. And I used to not ever work from a list. And it was whenever I started to get in that habit of following up, and not being disorganized, that everything kind of started to click. And, schedule that in your calendar as well. And, just encourage others, be focused, and write down 3 things every single day that you're thankful for, because I feel like it's so easy to get negative about coaching, because you can so easily point the finger to, oh, there's so many coaches out there. Everybody has a coach. There's no more people out there to help. That's just an excuse. And that's just that negative voice talking in your head. So if you always take on a grateful heart and a grateful attitude, you're always going to find that motivation. So, and that motivation and that positivity is going to be, amazing whenever, you're working with your team, and it's just infectious. So it's going to create, it's going to draw those types of people towards you. And, those are the type of people that you want on your team. And it's that motivation that's going to, have you create awesome posts for the week, and, things like that you absolutely have to do throughout the week. Also, another thing that you guys need to start doing as you're growing your team, since everybody in here is working towards Diamond, is you have to, be in touch with your downline. And that should be something that you do weekly. Get them excited. They are excited to hear from you, excited to have one-on-one time with you. And it encourages them, and it gives them an incentive to push harder. It makes them feel like they're valued, and that they really play a big role in your team, because everybody does. And check your business every single day. Like I said, get in your back office, and, do webinars and things like that. If you want to go to the next slide. Sarah? There we go. Okay. So the next slide, this is all Sarah's geniusness, because this is amazing to me. She has a kind of a breakdown. If you're a new coach, this is what your month should look like, weeks 1 through 4. So these are things that you can focus on. Clearly, you'll be going through Coach Basics. So that's going to be, a priority in your week for every week that month. And she also gives you something else to focus on, like in your social media, post about your progress. Start figuring out how to make social media posts, play around with the timing or what people are attracted to. Everybody's different in that. I might post something and people that I'm friends with on Facebook don't like it when, it's an awesome post for Sarah. Everybody works differently and attracts different people. So that's when you should be doing clean eating challenges and challenge groups. And then once you hit to Emerald and Ruby month, I love that she has this laid out. So if you guys are kind of stuck as far as that overwhelming, I don't know what to do, so I'm doing nothing feeling, look at this slide and the next slide if you want to go down, Sarah, to where you're at in your business and what you can really focus on, and where you need to go. I know that once you hit Diamond, you're like, a lot of people like to take their foot off the gas pedal because you're like, okay, I hit Diamond, I'm good. This was my goal, I'm good. You guys always have to be pushing forward. So once you hit the diamond, now you have to say, okay, now what? What is the next step? What's it going to take? Where do I want my business to go from here? You know, go after something more than just a rank. And this is how you do it. You know, these are things that you need to be focusing on every single month. These are things that you need to strengthen yourself on to be a better leader, to be a better inspiration for people. So take a little picture with your phone of these because they're priceless. But if you want to go to the next one, Sarah. Okay, so Sarah's probably better at this than me, but making a daily list and setting a timer. So now that you have an idea of what needs to get done in your business and the time it's going to take, now you have found your open window and you have to start setting timers. And I love this. I listened to one of Sarah's calls before on time management, and I love the fact that she's like, I set a timer for my messages. So she's allots maybe 15 minutes or 10 minutes to answer messages. And once her timer goes off, that's it. And that takes so much willpower to me. Like, I'm one of those people, like, I like to see 0 messages in my inbox before I go to bed. But Sarah sets a timer, and I love that. And I need to start doing it because it's so much more effective, because that maybe I wouldn't go to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning if I set a timer and said, nope, this is it. And she doesn't care if she has messages in there or not. She'll get to them the next time that she has her allotted time to it. And, you know, I'm the type of person, I scroll through my messages and I go to my very most important must do. If it's about the business or coaching or challenge packs, or if I'm talking to customers, those are the ones that I get to first. Those are my absolute must do's. So, but I love this example. So maybe say you have 45 minutes to work, because if you're like me, I'm a busy mom. I might have an hour a day. I might have 30 minutes a day. I might have 3 hours a day. It depends on nap time. We're all there, right? We're all not there, but I know a lot of you feel me. So your work week is a little bit more unpredictable if you're a mom or a stay-at-home mom. So just try and find the little nuggets of time that you have and break it down. That way you maximize the time. So this little breakdown, 20 minutes goes to your power half hour, 10 minutes goes to messaging personally sponsored coaches, and then the other 10 minutes goes to, challenge group potentials, following up with people, and then 5 minutes is about posting in your challenge groups. I think that is an absolute perfect breakdown because, again, it's in your must-dos. And I really want to encourage you to ask yourself if your daily activities align with your priorities. Because I think that that's going to help with your time management as well. Is what you're doing right now significant? And you have to be clear with your priorities. And like I said, if you've never been through the 30-day push, I encourage you to do that, because the first step is setting those priorities and getting them crystal clear. That way you're not robbing from other priorities in your time management. You have to be where you are. So it's family time. It's family time. The phone goes off. You don't worry about your challenge groups. You don't worry about, oh my gosh, somebody messaged me about a challenge pack and I have to answer it right now. No, that message is still going to be there when your kids are done playing their soccer game. I promise. And if it's not, then, your kids are more important. You have to be where you are. Next slide. So get in these habits, guys, because really crack the whip for 30 days. And like we said, kind of see where it takes you, make it a routine, and commit to making sacrifices, because it's those sacrifices that are going to take your business to the next level. There is not one single top coach that has gone through or gotten to where they are without giving up something that they enjoyed. I know for me, it was getting off my news feed. It was getting off Pinterest, and it was giving up, TV time at the end of the day. Like when my husband's actually home, I have when the kids go to bed at night until 10 o'clock, that's my work time. And then we spend an hour together at night before we go to bed, just us, phones off, business, everything off, just us. That way we're not robbing from somewhere else. And, I had to sacrifice a lot of things, like everybody does. But trust me, I'm tired. I had to give up sleep. We all have to give up sleep. Like, we're all tired. So that excuse, you can just like roll it up and throw it out the window because we are all exhausted. But if you give this time now, it's going to allow you time in the future. If you work harder now, you're going to have more free time in the future because your business is just going to organically grow. And you're going to be getting into these routines. So, using auto schedulers like Buffer and Hootsuite is a huge way to get into a habit of like Sarah said, make your post schedule on a Sunday and then plug it into Buffer and Hootsuite, and that magically just posts it all for you. And then the only thing you have to do throughout the week is maintenance. Like, it's kind of like a bonus post. So like, you set up your group posts for the week, and those will go in at the designated times they're set to go into those groups and on your like page. And then anything you have extra, like your post-workout selfie or whatever, that's just a bonus for those groups. Sundays are my day of planning as well as Sarah's day of planning. So if you fail to plan, you can just plan to fail. Like, I'm the same way. I kind of plan my posts. I create my images on one certain day. I allow a certain amount of time, and then plug them into Buffer and Hootsuite. And Sundays are my days to do calls as well, because Sundays are days that I have help. I go to my mom's house and my mother-in-law's house on Sundays. So that's the time where I schedule my GSRs, my coach calls, anybody who needs, me to call VIP coach relations or anything. That's the day I do it, because my kids aren't being crazy, or if they are, somebody else is maintaining them. So anyway, getting in the habit of working from a list too, like we said. Personal development, audio personal development is huge. And I know I talked about that in the little quick video that I did on a couple weeks ago. But download podcast if you don't have it. And you can literally listen to podcasts when you're doing anything. You just plug it in on your phone. Like, I have a 9-hour drive tomorrow with my 3 kids by myself. Woo! But you better believe it that they're going to be watching a movie and I'm going to be plugged in to my personal development. So you have to find those nuggets where you could, yes, you're going to give up your like jam sessions in your car, but it's so much more valuable to have that personal development time. So, and Sarah sets her alarm 15 minutes earlier. Whoop, whoop. I have to give her props to that. I'm a mom, so I need my sleep. But I do plug in and I do set my little nuggets of time when I have it throughout the day. But I love this last one, is to start your day by doing things that you hate to do. If you've ever read the book Eat That Frog, this is the number one takeaway. You have to do the number one thing you do not want to do first, because then the rest just seems easy. And it does. It's the truth, because we all procrastinate and we all find little things that we could be doing to avoid the thing that we know that we should be doing. So if you want to go to the next slide. I call this slide the Bye Felicia slide, because you need to be clear with your family on your goals and set priorities, because we all have haters. So this is where Bye Felicia comes in, because like, seriously, bye Felicia. All right. Like, if they don't like what you're doing, then you have to find other people. I know that a lot of you guys probably deal with a spouse that is not supportive of what your goal is. And my theory on that is to shove it up their ass. Like, prove to them that no, like, this is what is in my heart to do. This is my plan, and just carry it on out and just shove it in their face, especially if it's your spouse. Be like, ha, I told you I could do it. So, but they have to be on the same page, and maybe they might not be supportive right now, but I promise you, when your business is killing it, then they're going to be all about your business. Cause my husband was the same way a little bit. He never put me down about it, but he never believed in it either. So, just let them in on what you're doing and tell them how they can help you. And, you have to be clear with them that you're going to give up certain things, and you might have a little bit of resistance with that, but, they're going to have to understand it. Again, like we said, if you have family time, be 100% unplugged. With me, being a stay-at-home mom is tricky. If you guys are stay-at-home moms, it is, because I'll be sitting there beside Peyton, my daughter. She's 5.5 months old, and she'll be jumping in her jumperoo and just jumping. And I'm like, okay. And I find myself trying to pick up my phone and like scrolling through Facebook or checking into my groups, and that's not where I need to be. So if you're like me and you struggle with that, just turn your phone off. And short-term, like I said, short-term sacrifices will lead to long-term rewards. Next slide. Guys, and also your calendar is the roadmap to your success. So if you're not used to scheduling and doing to-do lists and things like that, you really need to plug into it. So get in the habit of, if it doesn't align with your priorities, it should not be on your calendar. Also, I wanted to, while I'm thinking about it, I use Awesome Note. It's a to-do list and scheduler app on your phone. So that was just a little side note. But so helping your team with your time, you guys have to get a system in place and make it duplicatable. There we go. I hate that word, but make it that way. So because success breeds success. So find, we kind of all work through things, and we kind of get into our own systems, but they have to be teachable. And so now that you are honing in and learning how to do this, make sure your team's following in the same footsteps. Kind of urge them, follow up with them, and share what you're learning, share what you're doing, and really encourage them to do the same. Provide each new coach a month template to follow on your GSR. And if you guys haven't, like Sarah said, if you haven't printed out the booklet in TKO on their website, it's awesome, and it'll really help with you to create like a focused business plan. And help your personally sponsored coaches reverse engineer their goals. And that's a huge thing, because we all have goals. And if you're like me, I set a goal of being a diamond coach without actually knowing what that meant. So make sure your coaches are truly understanding what their goals are and what it's going to take for them to get there. You're always going to want to encourage them to keep pushing forward. So once you guys hit diamond, don't just stop. Ask your team what holds them up when working on the business tasks. Like for me, I know, like Instagram, making posts, like you can make an awesome post, and we've all been there. You can spend like an eternity creating this amazing post in your head, and then you post it and you get like 3 likes, and you're like, really? Like, I just poured my heart into that and I thought it was so awesome. And then and that's the moment where you're like, I just lost like 2 hours of my life. So, you kind of have to evaluate that, and that comes into your time management. And next slide. So commit to removing wasted time in your life. I love this. Until we can manage time, we can manage nothing else. And I love that quote. Next slide. So this is Sarah's little assignment activity. Do you want to talk about it, Sarah?
Yeah. So, all right. So sorry guys about all those issues. But hey, it's real life, and I told you I suck with technology. I still do. But this is an assignment activity I wanted to challenge you guys all with. So tomorrow, don't change one thing that you normally do and track every single second of your day. Don't be like, oh, I want to track it so it looks nice and pretty. Pretend like you didn't even listen to this call, and just write down from the moment you wake up till the moment you lay your head on that pillow what you've done that day. If you watched 47 minutes of Netflix, write that down. If you look at if you sit in your car in a parking lot and you're Facebook scrolling for 10 minutes before you go in the house, write that down. And literally write every second down, just as you track your food. And then look at it at the end of the day and find where you can fit in 10 to 30 minutes for Beachbody time. Take a highlighter and highlight all the time wasters, and post that in the comments of the call post from tonight. So we can all share, hey, look, I found all this extra time. You'll feel like you turned your 24-hour day into 48 hours just by doing this. I promise you. And then another thing I want you to try to do, create your dream day. You know, if you sit here and you drool over Davies and Chico and Brandy and all these top leaders and all their flexibility and their fun that they have, write that day down. What would you want to do in the day of your dreams? What would that look like? And put it on your vision board, put it on your bulletin board in your office or on your desktop or on your phone screensaver, wherever, because just like as we write out our goals, that can become our reality. And then I want you to try using a timer. Please, please, please. It's the best and easiest thing you can do to really cut out that wasted time. So those are our tips. I'm so sorry for all of those issues. This is my first Google Hangout ever, but Jackie to the rescue, Davies to the rescue, and we figured it out. So we'll post all the slides in the group, and I hope that you guys got some good takeaways. I love that you could hear from a mom and a soon-to-be mom and all different sorts of lifestyles. But like I said, you can run a full-time business on a part-time schedule. So thank you so much, Jackie, and thank you everyone for tuning in tonight.